In 1969, Israeli commandos landed in Egypt in complete darkness, no shots fired, no radar contact. They dismantled an entire Soviet radar system, loaded it onto helicopters, and vanished. The machine that made that possible, most people have never heard of it, and that's just one story. This is every helicopter Israel has ever operated, and some of them will change how you think about modern warfare. Israel's helicopter story doesn't start with firepower, it starts with survival. A brand new country, surrounded by enemies, with almost nothing. What they built from that, rotor by rotor, is one of the most dangerous and secretive rotary wing histories on Earth. Hiller 360, 1951, Israel's very first helicopter, tiny, underpowered, could barely carry 2 people. But in 1951, it proved that rotary wing operations were possible in desert heat and hostile terrain. Without the Hiller, nothing that came after it exists. Bell 47, early 1950s, that iconic bubble canopy, the exposed tail boom, Israel used it for medical evacuation and liaison in the earliest years of the state. Simple, fragile, and absolutely critical when your wounded soldiers had no other way home. Sikorsky, Akis 55, Chickasaw, 1958, Israel's first real troop transport. For the first time, they could move actual numbers of soldiers by air. It arrived just as regional tensions were building towards something catastrophic. Israel saw what it could do and immediately wanted something bigger. Sikorsky S-58 Choctaw, 1958, heavier, more powerful. Israel pulled 31 airframes from American and German surplus stocks and flew them in extreme desert conditions for years. Sandy airstrips, baking heat, zero infrastructure. The S-58 didn't care, it just flew. Aerospatiale Alouette II, 1958, French-built, turbine-powered, surprisingly agile in high-altitude desert conditions. Israel operated 15 of them through the late 1950s and into the 1960s. Proof that they were already sourcing rotorcraft from everywhere, refusing to depend on anyone. But here's where the story gets dark. Aerospatiale SA-321K, Super Frelon, Zira, 1966. The ghost of Israeli helicopter history. The Zira, meaning wasp, carried 30 fully armed commandos deep into enemy territory in complete darkness. It raided Beirut airport. It captured a Soviet radar from Egypt. It transported commandos to Shadwan Island before dawn. It flew combat missions until 1994. Almost nobody talks about it. Bell UH-1 Iroquois, AB-205, 1968. The Huey, iconic for a reason. Israel flew the Bell 205 variant for medium transport and casualty evacuation, pulling wounded out of the Sinai during the Yom Kippur War, inserting teams at night, keeping going long after it should have been retired. And this is where things get dangerous. Bell AH-1 Cobra, Tsefa, 1975, Israel's first dedicated attack helicopter, over 60 delivered, immediately modified with Israeli weapons and avionics. For the first time, the IAF had a rotary platform purpose-built to destroy tanks in a region where armored formations could appear from any direction. That changed everything. Bell 212, Anifa, 1975, twin-engined, more powerful than the Huey, better in heat and high altitude, the Anifa took over medium transport duties quietly and professionally. Never glamorous, never made headlines. It just showed up, did the job, and went home. Bell 206, Jet Ranger Siphon, 1967. Small, light, almost civilian in appearance. The Siphon was the first helicopter most IAF rotary wing pilots ever flew. The machine that separated those who could handle rotor systems from those who couldn't. Deceptively simple, quietly essential, but not everything on this list was a success. MD 500 Defender, 1982. Small enough to hide behind a building. Armed with 2 anti-tank missiles, the MD-500 hunted Syrian armor in the narrow terrain of Lebanon's Bka Valley in 1982, and it was devastatingly effective, a preview of the precision lethality doctrine Israel was already building toward. Sikorsky CH-53D, Yasur, 1969, 42 delivered, over 50 years in service. The Yasur carried commandos behind enemy lines, evacuated the wounded from Lebanon. Inserted troops during the Yom Kippur War, the 114th Squadron, the night leaders, flew it until 2023, one of the most important aircraft in Israeli military history. Full stop, the most dangerous one is still coming. Sikorsky UH-60 Black Hawk, yanshuf, 1994, named after a bird that hunts in complete darkness. The yanshuf was modified far beyond the standard American Black Hawk, Israeli EW suites, advanced countermeasures, classified mission systems. It operates in places Israel has never officially acknowledged. The name was not an accident. AH-64, Apache, Peton, 1990. This is the one. Israel's primary attack helicopter and the backbone of its rotary wing combat doctrine. The Patton arrived in 1990 and immediately flew combat, deeply integrated with Israeli targeting systems and countermeasures. It has operated in Gaza, Lebanon, and beyond, and almost nothing about its full operational record has ever been confirmed. AH-64, the Apache longbow, yasur, 2005, the upgraded Piton, radar dome on top, more capable targeting, more lethal. The Seraph is still flying combat missions right now. It is one of the most feared attack helicopters in the Middle East, and the full extent of what it has done remains classified. AS-565 Panther, Israeli Navy. While the IAF built its arsenal, the Navy was quietly watching. The Panther operates from Israeli warships, anti-ship, anti-submarine, maritime patrol, compact enough for deck operations, lethal enough to shift a naval engagement. It doesn't make headlines, but in Israeli waters it misses nothing. Tactical Robotics Cormorant, 2016. No exposed rotors, ducted fans, designed to fly through city streets between buildings, places no conventional helicopter can enter to reach wounded soldiers under fire. It flew successfully in 2016. It is unlike anything built anywhere else on Earth, and it came from Israel. Sikorsky, CH-53K pair, 2028, 12 ordered, a dedicated production line in Connecticut built exclusively for Israel, the most capable heavy-lift helicopter ever built, and Israel is already planning modifications before the first one arrives. They named it Pear, meaning wild, after everything on this list that feels exactly right.